Mission accomplished? As the war drags on, the president telling the Pentagon to finish the battle, even though the military argues ISIS is still a threat, according to 2 U.S. officials. A contentious national security meeting after the president declared Tuesday,
I want to get out. I want to bring our troops back home.
Even as his top commander for the region was saying it is too soon.
The hard part, I think, is in front of us, and that is stabilizing these areas, consolidating our gains.
Tonight, military advisors scrambling to prevent the president from ceding the battlefield to Russia and Iran, whose leaders were meeting on Syria today.
Nothing could be more attractive, certainly to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, than to have the President of the United States saying, we're on the verge of pulling out, you own the country.
2 U.S. officials tell NBC News the president reluctantly agreeing to keep troops in Syria, asking how much more time do you need, 6 months, a year? The White House later saying the military mission to eradicate ISIS in Syria is coming to a rapid end, with ISIS being almost completely destroyed. Not true, say current and former officials. ISIS is not defeated and another terror threat looms.
Al-Qaeda's global leadership has begun to shift from Afghanistan and Pakistan to Syria, taking advantage of the conflict, taking advantage of the chaos.
The president telling advisors Saudi Arabia will take over and is pledging $4 billion so U.S. troops can come home. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.